Welcome back to the Cowboys Society. Today, we got to get into a episode from the Speak Easy podcast, with Emmanuel Acho, Shady, who is the ex-Eagle, therefore default a Cowboys hater. And then, of course, we got Care Bear, who is going to be the resident Cowboys fan. What are they talking about? The title of their podcast is Super Bowl or Bust. And they have something to say about a t-shirt, guys, a t-shirt that Dak Prescott wore to training camp. And also, I'm going to go ahead and bust a few myths that have been incorrectly put onto us as Cowboys fans. Let's talk about it.
Here we go.
Look, winning the Super Bowl is what's left for Dak Prescott. He said it's that or nothing. Also showed up to training camp today wearing a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champions shirt. January 28th, 1996, when we defeated the Steelers 27-7.
All right, guys, before they get into this, I specifically wore this back-to-back Super Bowl t-shirt because they have a problem with Dak Prescott wearing his 1996 Super Bowl t-shirt. So shout out to the back-to-backs. This was 92-93. Dak wore a 96 shirt, but let's continue.
17, our last Super Bowl trip, unfortunately, and also the last time we went to an NFC Championship game.
Yeah, like
it has been a while. I wasn't even born then. I was in my daddy's balls. Do you guys think Dak is under the most pressure of any player in the NFL this year for the Cowboys?
I'm going to say yes, because Dak keeps talking about Super Bowls, and now you're wearing a Super Bowl shirt to training camp. Like, Dak is now accepting the pressure. There's come a point where everybody's projected the pressure on Dak Prescott. Now Dak's saying, look, you know what I'm saying? I've been under the squat rack. I can carry this weight. So we'll see if he can, but at the end of the day, Dak is the face of the franchise. If Dak plays 12, 15 years for the Cowboys and never even goes to an NFC Championship game, what the hell you do all that for?
So real quick, guys, what are we talking about here? Can Dak Prescott wear a team legacy shirt from when the team he plays for won a Super Bowl without being absolutely criticized and scrutinized? It's absolutely insane to me. Now, we get it. It's been 30 years, coming up on 31 years since we won a Super Bowl. Right? Since we've been to the NFC Championship game. And of course, Dak wants to be the quarterback to get us back to the promised land. Why wouldn't he be? Everyone knows Dak. He's a leader. He's persistent. He's hardworking. He is determined. So every time you ask him about the Super Bowl, of course, that's going to be a goal on his plate. He's done almost everything you can do except have success in the playoffs. Let's be honest here. So for these guys for Acho to be saying that he's accepting the pressure, I believe that Dak has accepted the pressure long time ago. His wearing this t-shirt while coming to training camp is not signifying that he's accepting the pressure. We're already there.
You're going to become Tony Romo 2.0. Like, how you play that long and don't win anything of significance. You don't win anything meaningful. Dak Prescott will probably retire a top 5 highest paid player in the history of sports. And you have nothing to show for it if you don't win a Super Bowl. So, to me, I don't know if there's another Cowboy under more pressure than Dak Prescott, Shady.
So, that's true. Because, in my personal opinion, I may make a video solely on this, what I'm about to say. If we don't have great success, and I mean going to the NFC Championship and possibly the Super Bowl, max, we're going to have to start looking for moving on from that, because this is year 11, 12, 13. Man, guys, we get into, maybe Matthew Stafford territory with how much time he spent with the Lions. I mean, granted, he did go out there and win a Super Bowl with the Rams, but nobody saw that coming at all, because we all thought Goff was going to be that guy. So, like I said, coming up on year 11 right now in 2026, we got to do something, and we got to do something fast, because the criticism for Dak is already there. Now let's listen to Shady.
Man, there ain't no pressure for Dak Prescott. There's not. The good years, the bad years, the years they come up short, years he plays that football in the playoffs and they don't win. We talk about it for a couple weeks and that's it. We move right on. There's no real pressure. And another thing is like, why are we even wearing? Can we show to the viewers why are we wearing the Dallas Cowboys championship shirt? Why are we doing that?
Because we play to win the game, Shady.
It's like you want some attention.
Exactly.
Come on, but y'all ain't been there a year. 1996, bro. Y'all ain't even in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, why are we doing all that? Let's just try to win some games. Let's just try to win, right? Before we talk about Super Bowls and all that, let's just be realistic. And I think that sometimes with Dak Prescott, I think he wants to be that quarterback that brings in that championship. You don't have to talk about it. Just go out there and play. You know, I've always been tough on Dak just because he's been surrounded by a lot of talent, you know, a lot of good defense and all that and good personnel. And he's in the playoffs, he plays different than the regular season. So,
look, here's the thing. Dak is not talking about winning the Super Bowl every day. The media will come and ask him, what are our chances of going to the Super Bowl? What do you expect him to say? First of all, we don't have a terrible team. We had a terrible defense, and then we had the number one offense. So at this point in time, I don't even think it's delusional for anybody that's saying that the Cowboys could be a Super Bowl contender. I don't think that's absolutely delusional because if we put out the same production that we did on offense, and then we have even a middle of the pack defense, not saying it's going to be there because we don't know. Everything is unproven. New DC, 7 new starters. It's going to be some growing pains there. But if we get some type of complementary defense to go with the number one offense, don't you think we have some type of competitiveness that will be able to be a formidable opponent in the playoffs? It's not crazy to say.
I don't know if he's up against a lot of pressure just because what has changed. Like, they're going to find a way to make it the defense fault, find a way to make it the offense fault. Oh, that's Jerry Jones' fault. Them 3-4 years ago, when that team was loaded with talent, they found a way to blame Jerry Jones. I'm thinking, like, how? And the truth is, he didn't play well in the playoffs.
No, it was
the year with the Packers, I mean, he was throwing picks and pick six, right? They didn't blame him. They blamed, the defense couldn't stop nobody. Okay, cool. Then they blamed Jerry Jones. The year before that, when they really were good,
Dak had a stinker. I think we blamed Dak a little bit.
Who? Maybe I did. I don't see.
I think we blame Dak, bro. I think more Cowboys fans are realistic than you think.
Cowboys fans, when I talk to them, bro, they try to blame Jerry Jones.
Bro, what is he? Yo, Shady is not in rooms, forums, circles with real Cowboys fans. He's got to be talking to casuals or some type of undercover Cowboys fans, because there's no way you talking to real Cowboys fans and we are not putting a lot of our failures on Dak Prescott. That year when we played the 49ers and we lost, I believe it was 19-24 or something like that, when we had almost every chance to win that game, but we could not put up points. Our offense could not put up points for so long. I think the Niners had 19. It was like 19-13, something like that. An absolute winnable game, but our offense could not put up points. How are we putting that on anybody else but the quarterback? The offense, the defense played out of their minds against the number one defense in the league at that time in the 49ers. It's stopping the run. I'm for sure about that. I don't know about overall, but if we're stopping a run, then quarterback, where you at? We definitely put blame on him. So he's absolutely delusional or unaware or just completely taking everything that was portrayed and said about Dak Prescott performing in the playoffs out of context, because he definitely does get a lot of criticism from us. Even myself, I've been on record of saying, I won't say record because I say it amongst, friends and people out at the sports bars and things of that nature when I'm talking about the boys. I've been out on Dak. And he's still here. For some reason, he has some type of staying power because he's good enough to bring up the question when you say, who else are we going to get? Who else are we going to get? He just got ranked the 6th best quarterback in the league, and it's not even arguable. He is good.
I think the way he's drafted on the defensive side of the ball over the last 10 to 15 years
That's
has
not
been
true,
really
though. That's
bad.
not
The defense.
It has
Weird,
been
weird.
bad.
I'm sure that's not true.
Defensively, it's
Outside
been
of Mike
bad.
and DeMarcus Ware, they've swung and missed.
Okay,
A lot.
Let's talk about it. So, do we count Diggs? Does Trayvon Diggs get any credit? Because the one time we look, he's one of the best corners in the league.
Like taking the ball away. He was never one of the best corners in the league.
I'm
though.
done. So you telling me a dude
wasn't.
that had the most picks in the season was all pro? That shit don't count.
It does count. He's incredible taking the ball away, but he wasn't one of the best corners in the league. You could ask any corner, Shady. Nobody would say Diggs was one of the best corners in the league.
That's so true. So true. Diggs got, 7 interceptions? He had 1 year. He had 1 year. And the topic right now, what they're going over right now is that the Cowboys have not selected well on defense. And it's facts. Mozzie, Taco, you can go back to Mo Claiborne, Jalen, what's his name? I can't remember, the linebacker that would always do like this whenever he would get a sack or a TFL. We haven't had good defenses. This goes way back to Romo. Yeah, we had a good defense, I think in like 22 or 23, no, somewhere around there. But we haven't had good defenses. Like, if we want to blame something outside of the quarterback, we can definitely blame our defenses. And whether or not it be actual talent, it be coaching personnel, or just be Jerry. You can put blame on somebody when it's warranted.
When that year he had, and 1 year he had, the last two.
It was a great year.
Hold up. His first 2 years, when he jumped off the porch, you was like, wow, this kid's going to be really, really good.
Incredible taking the ball away. But he was never one. You know he was never one of the best corners in the league.
The most impressive thing you could do in football is take the ball away.
Yeah, but you can also get beat. He was getting torched.
He wasn't getting torched. That's not true.
Yeah,
He's not getting torched. That all-pro year, he was not getting torched. That is not true. That is not true.
They were double moving him to death. He gave up like 986 yards, but he also got picks.
I'm not going to sit here and say this. So what do you want? You want a guy who can cover well or get you the ball?
Jerry.
Yo, okay, let's break some of this down because Trayvon Diggs was amazing that 1 year at one thing. And that one thing was interceptions. He was leading the league in yards allowed. If double moves killed him because he was either pick or bust. If he didn't get that pick, it was 6 the other way for the other team. Like, come on, man. Like, his main criticism was that he couldn't cover. Not that he couldn't cover, I take that back. Was that he would just bite on every move, the first move. And it was baffling. It was baffling to me how you could just predict that a team was gonna, I don't know, post corner him, out and up, whatever the case may be. And he'll fall for it every time because he wanted that interception. And then he didn't pan out. To me, he was a bust because he got paid and then we didn't see him on the field for the rest of his career, except the last season when he was absolute shell of himself. Absolute shell of himself. So Shady has no idea what he's talking about when he's talking about Trayvon Diggs. He had one season where he had 7 interceptions. That's it. And also, takeaways is not one of the most impressive things you can do. Holding teams' offensive production down is what you can do. So we don't care if you got 2 interceptions in a game, but then you also gave up 2 touchdowns and 150 yards. Because 9 times out of 10, I won't say 9 times out of 10, but it's just percentage-wise, the offense isn't going to score every single time we get an interception. But if we have one DB who is out here giving up 150 yards and allowing the other offense to put up points time after time after time again, then that's a problem. Just like with Micah Parsons. Yeah, he's going to get some sacks. But are we winning the games? Is he stopping the run? Because the only time Micah was productive was when we had a lead and the other team knew when we knew the other team had to pass. then he was just coming out the blocks, sprinting at the quarterback. But he was an undersized edge rusher. He can't stop the run. Let's continue.
He has given the Cowboys contender after contender after contender. And one, I don't have any problem with Dak being confident and saying, "Oh, I do want to go out there and win a Super Bowl." That should be the expectation. If you fall anywhere short of an NFC Championship, it's just going to be par for the course of what we already think of you anyway.
Correct.
I need to see something different, and I need to see some sort of confidence. So I do think the first year against the Niners, it was Dak. Second year against the Niners, it was Dak. Against the Packers, it was Dak.
Yeah.
Again, it was always Dak that was holding us back in those.
I disagree. I believe that that first year against the Niners, when we just needed a touchdown to win the game, essentially, that was Dak. I mean, we've only been to the playoffs, 3 times? That's embarrassing. To say that out loud, damn, I had to whisper it. Second time against the Niners and against Green Bay. As someone who watches these games, every single game, knows the dynamics of the team and what we do in certain situations and things of that nature, actually studies what's going on, how they're going to be coached. I can guarantee you, I can tell you this, that the second time against the Niners and the time against Green Bay, the Cowboys, especially with the Packers, the Cowboys defense completely switched up the entire game plan from what they've been doing all season. I specifically remember we went from going, of course, 4-3 at the time, maybe some nickel. We started going dime the whole game. We had 6 DBs on the field the whole time, and we hadn't done that all year. All year. There was no team chemistry, no cohesiveness. That's why the score ran up. Not because of the pick 6. Yeah, that was bad, but our defense was historically bad that one game. It was wild to watch. It was frustrating to watch. And I was like, they're gonna blame Dak. They're gonna blame Dak. No, he would have had to put up 50 points to win that game. Nobody's putting up 50 points in the playoffs. 50. How is that Dak? The other team, the Packers, scored 48 points. How is that Dak? He can't come back. We can't come back from that, guys. Come on now. Be real.
Games. My problem is, and then this is what I'm saying, just because it was, in my opinion, in those games, Dak's fault, doesn't mean that Jerry Jones is without blame for other things as well. Using first-round draft capital to take Taco Charlton and Mozzie Smith were horrible selections. And when you look at what he's drafted on the defensive side of the ball, outside of Micah Parsons and hopefully outside of Caleb Downs over the past couple of years, it's been bust after bust after bust. Yeah. Mo Claiborne, Leighton Vander Esch, good player, ended up getting hurt. It's just been miss after miss after miss. Yeah, Jalen Smith, there's been so many misses on that defensive side of the ball. And I understand that's just football. I get it. But when you look at who's our counterpart in our... Look at how Howie Roseman is handling his team, and it's different. Unfortunately for Jerry Jones, if we're not in the NFC South, we're not. If we're in the NFC South, we're running that division.
Okay, let's go to offense because it's two sides of the ball. Sorry about that. Right? What about them freaking offensive linemen over there that Jerry done got? Do they
amazing?
Know?
Yeah, no, they do. Offensively, I have no problem with it.
The quarter.
Now, like I was saying earlier, on defense, we've been a bust in drafting. Offense has been crazy. Like, even look what we got now. Our whole offensive line is solid. And they're maturing. They're about to start entering their prime. We got CD. We had Zeke. Our offense has been cool. I ain't tripping off that. What's been bad has been our defense. And I love that we got Christian Parker because he's just different. I ain't gonna go too far into Christian, but I think our defense is gonna be different, guys. And of course, you've heard that before. But one main thing that I can say about the defense is that Christian Parker is changing the culture. He's absolutely changing the culture. He's a winner. It's proven. He's won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He had the Eagles secondary on point. I can't lie. On point. You know, against other teams, not us, but you know. I know he's going to come in. He's going to work with Trevon Revel. He's going to work with Bland, Carson, Butler. those guys to make sure, as well as, of course, Caleb Downs and then Malik Hooker, who's still around. I don't think he's going to make the team, or he'll be a backup. I think Jalen Thompson's going to actually come in and take that starting role, unless they go strong and free and put Caleb down in nickel and things like that. Have a more dynamic look. But I think he's going to change our whole demeanor and our whole attitude on defense. And I know he's going to come in and have influence on different types of defensive players that he would like to work with to further improve the defense. Now, these draft picks this year still have to be proven because they haven't played it down yet. So we don't know if they're going to be a bust. All of them won't pan out, but we'll see how that go. We'll see how that goes.
Back. You know what I mean? CeeDee Lamb.
People were clowning them last year for getting a running back that we got.
So all I'm saying is that when we want to pick on Jerry Jones, look at the stuff Jerry's really done.
He did give us a championship roster in 2022 when we lost to the 49ers because Dak couldn't do anything and our defense played a hell of a game. That's because of Dak. Played a great game, and it's because of Dak. And I think if any Cowboys fan is going to stand on the soapbox and be like, "Hey, Dak needs to play better in the playoffs," I'll be the one. And I've always said that he needs to be better in the playoffs. Always.
So here's one of the myths I want to bust, because clearly Shady thinks that we don't have any criticism for Dak and that he's just going to coast through and we're just going to ride his career out without winning. No. There's plenty of Cowboys fans, and I mean plenty, that are out on Dak and want him gone today. I'm talking about today. So just to think that he has no pressure at all, and that's the weird thing about Dak. He's a great quarterback, but we can just never find a way to put it all together. And like Stephen A. says, whatever is going to happen will happen, and it always happens. Always been on that.
First time you say this shit.
No, he not.
No, I got videos 4 or 5 years back. I've always been on that side.
I work just as many days you work, I think.
You don't.
I don't see it at all. I'm telling you, bro. I got a video where I take off my Dak Prescott jersey, throw it on the ground, and put on a red headband and pronounce myself as a Chiefs fan. That's how.
Oh, I would never do that. I would never wear any article of apparel or anything that is of another team. I don't care.
Nasty it got. It was bad. Look, I want to see the Cowboys win, just like every other Cowboys fan wants to see them win. But with Dak Prescott, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. Go out there and show us that you can do it. If this newfound confidence, and you mentioned in the Super Bowl all offseason, which I've never really seen him do. He talks about wanting to win, but I've never seen him do this.
Not like this.
Show me something different, because we want to see something different.
Exactly. We desperately want to see something different. And as a 42-year-old Cowboys fan, I got to see the Super Bowls in the 90s, right? I want to see another Super Bowl before I die. Can we get that done, please? Can we get it done, please? You go a certain amount of time, 10, maybe 15 years, 20. But we going on 30 years without even being competitive in the playoffs? Woo! That's hard. That hurts. So, again, to see Dak wear a T-shirt of a 1996 Super Bowl by the team that he plays for and loves, bro, that's not a big deal. What are we doing here? They're just making content to make content because Dallas Cowboys content gets the views. That's what this is right here. And everybody knows Dak and knows that Dak has Super Bowl goals in his future. So what's the problem here? All Cowboys fans are not delusional. Now, we believe in our team, and I think that's one of the biggest dynamics that people don't understand, is that we believe in our team so much that we always say it's our year. Why wouldn't it be? We're fans. We're the most fanatic fans out there. And we own that. Now, out in public, we're going to say we're going to win the Super Bowl every year, right? Behind closed doors, we know we ain't going to do that. At this point, we just say that to piss y'all off. Honestly, I know I have my yearly, it's our year, we going to the Super Bowl. Post, comment, video is happening, right? Just to piss y'all off. Now, In order to do that, we got to put some things together. We got to make it work. But Dak Prescott wearing a t-shirt and won the winter Super Bowl, I'm cool with that. Let me know what you think about Dak Prescott wearing a t-shirt, guys. Are we being that petty today? Are we being that petty? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special with a like and a subscribe. Until next time, this is the Cowboys Society. Real fan, real talk every day. Peace.